Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about very interesting topic, micro frontends. And specifically I will be diving into how to build micro frontends with Vite. If you have been following micro frontends for a while, you probably know that the most common approach used to be Webpack model federation. That was the go-to solution for sharing code between independent front-end applications. But things have evolved, and now we have Vite federation plugin. We will start by breaking down what micro frontends actually are, why they are useful, how they work, and what problem they solve. Then I will walk you through setting up a micro frontend with Vite, explaining how state is shared, how events work, and some key things I learned along the way working with micro frontends. By the end of this video, I will share my own experience working with micro frontends in large web applications. So if you're curious about micro frontends or thinking of using Vite for your project, this video is for you. Let's dive in. Let's begin with the Vite plugin federation GitHub repository. Here we have basically explanation how to set up micro frontends with Vite. We're gonna be using that. But first, let's talk about what is actually micro frontends. And here they have a perfect example. So let's click on that GIF. As you probably understood, micro frontend is alternative to monolith architecture, where we build all our application in one monolith. That actually led to sometimes to unmanageable code because code base grows. It becomes more difficult to maintain it, to deploy it, because for example, if you need to do some small change, we need to deploy whole application, but in micro frontend is a bit different. Instead of one large app, we split frontend into independent self-contained applications that allow teams to work independently, even they can choose their own stack and also deploy independently. So what about events in micro frontends? One of the key principles of that architecture is loose coupling. Each micro frontend should work independently while communicating efficiently. The best way to achieve that? Events. Instead of micro frontends calling each other directly, they should emit and listen for events. For that, we can use custom events, so each micro frontend fires its own browser event, no direct dependencies. Otherwise, PubSub model like Rex.js, so we can use event bus to send and receive updates across micro frontends. When it comes to state management, we want to minimize shared state as much as possible. Each micro frontend should own its own state. It can be React context, Zastand, or local state. For global state, we can use already mentioned event bus, it's a preferred way. Also, we can use a global Redux store or a browser storage just for lightweight operations. Now we are getting back to that GIF example of a micro frontend application. As you see here, we have 4 different independent applications, all of them highlighted by dashed border. So as you see, the red one is the host application, the one which contains other micro frontend applications and orchestrates them. So we have one button, which is separate application. We have related products list, which is again separate application, and that label which shows items in the basket. And once this button gets clicked, state of this label is updated, so we see that number of items are increasing. So these 2 items have a shared state. So we will try implementing something like this, but with a host application and just with one independent micro frontend. Let's do that. So first, we need to create a folder. I called it micro frontend demo. And here, let's create our first host application. For my demo, I will be using React. Okay, let's run this. After we set up host application, we need to go inside that folder, run npm install. And after that, we need to install Vite plugin federation. And we need to install it as dev dependency. After that, let's go back to our main folder and create remote application, which is going to be independent micro frontend. And inside this folder, we also need to install Vite plugin federation. Okay, that's done. So let's go to code editor. Here is a package.json of a remote application. As you see, here is Vite plugin federation. Besides that, I installed Tailwind CSS because I created some demo component. I will show you a bit later. But what is important here to change, we need to create fixed port. So once we run our remote application, it's supposed to run on the fixed port. For that, we need to update this preview command and add this. So port 5001 strict port. That's it here. So let's take a look at the demo component in app file. In that component, we have 3 records with ID, customer, and status. Status is pending. To be able to change the status to delivered, we have that functionality. Going to markup. In markup, we have title, subtitle, and table, which contains 4 columns. And in that table, we render our records. And also we have action button, mark as delivered, which calls that function and changes the status of the record. Basically, that's it. Let's see how it looks in browser. Here is the component. So let's try clicking this button. It works. So it's ready to be integrated in the host app. And let's do proper configuration for that. To make that remote app exposed, we need to add specific configuration to Vite config. Here is it. Let's import that from the plugin we just installed. In federation, we specify next parameters. So name, it's name of our remote. I just called it remote app. File name is remote entry. So this is the common practice to call remotes in that way. Exposes, so this one means what exactly we expose from here. So I specified the whole app, but it could be as well button, header, footer, whatever. And the last we have shared parameter. This is the dependencies which this remote shares. In this case is React and React DOM. And one more small thing, we need to add that build parameters as well. So we are done. So now let's go to host and configure our host application. Host app is more simple. It's just a wrapper which contains micro frontends. So we just single container with a header component, and in header component we have a title, micro frontends host app, and our remote app is gonna go here. So we will render it here. But before that, we need to configure our Vite config. As you see, a setup here is a bit different. So in this federation, we have a bit different parameters. So here we have name. This is the name of this remote app. Since we exporting the whole app, I just called it app. And remotes, we have here remote app, and here you can see address to it with the port 5001. That's why we need that strict port specification. And in assets, we will find that remote entry.js, which is going to be generated after we build our remote app. And the same shared dependencies here. In that part, remotes, we can add much more apps. So if we have 7 micro frontends, so they're going to be listed here. Also, don't forget to add this build parameters. Now let's go back to app file. I just added another container which gonna hold that remote app and render it inside. So I just added some styles to make it look nice. Let's import our remote app here. The import will look like that, and then we can use it right away here. Okay, we are done with setup. Let's try to run it. In remote app, let's run build first. And after that, let's run preview mode. Okay, it is running in the port we specified earlier. So now we go to host app. And in the host app, we do the same. We run build. And after build, preview. That's it. So let's go to that address. And as you see, micro frontend successfully rendered in our host app. Here is the header of our host app, a container of our host app, and here we're rendering our micro frontend remote app. Let's try clicking on that button. We see that it works. So state updates in our remote app. So everything works as expected. So to set up that basic micro frontends application, it was pretty easy. But once it grows, then complexity comes. When you need to share state and events between micro frontends, that becomes a bit challenging. If you want me to share how to deal with the state and events in micro frontend applications, let me know in the comments and I will shoot another video explaining this part. Wrapping up this video, I want to share my own experience working with micro frontends in a large web application. It was a project splitted to micro frontends, and this micro frontends they were splitted not per components but per pages. So each page was separate micro frontend. So here is key benefits for me as for developer working with micro frontends. Planning of the feature becomes much easier and accurate since you have smaller scope and less dependencies. Another benefit is more freedom for development because you can choose any tools you want without affecting others. And other key benefits is testing and deployment. You have smaller scope, so it's easier to identify bugs and test your components. If you have any questions or you want to share your own experience, please write a comment under this video. And that's it for today. If you found this useful, please like and subscribe for more dev insights. See you in the next one.